Yeah. Did you see the video I made yesterday talking about the
Rob, Comrade, and Kale Show? Rob Sanders.
I don't care. My jokes don't go over. I don't care.
Comrade Mike Dobreski.
I don't care. We hate you. I don't care.
And Kale Hall.
This is stupid. Making noises on the show. You're like a crazy person. Why do you do this to your father and I?
The Rob, Comrade, and Kale podcast.
And welcome in to the latest edition of the Rob, Comrade, and Kale podcast. I am Rob Sanders, represent the Clemson Tigers on this podcast. I have a couple of co-hosts. One of them is already in the mix, ladies and gentlemen. He is the ball man from the upstate. You can hear him this evening. Clearing his throat, he's ready to go. He's Kale Hall. Kale, what's up, brother?
What's up, my friend? My favorite night of the week is Sunday night, and I think that we're going to be doing some predictions for one of our football conferences tonight, huh?
Yep, football conferences and game by game for South Carolina and Clemson. So we got a lot of shit to do. We do. All right, with that, we do. And we have to welcome in the third member of our show. He is the Comrade, Mike Dobreski. Mike, sir.
It is good to be here, and I feel alive. I mean, tonight, I actually, for the first time in I don't know how long, went on the Rob and Comrade and Kale podcast website and put in the picks for the week. I mean, the picks are up now, folks. The picks for week one are up. You can go in and make your picks for week one. Send me some money. Send me some money first. Make your picks for week one. I feel like I'm back to normal again. I feel like I'm alive again. It feels good. It feels good to be in America right now.
It really does. We've got a lot to get into tonight. Comrade, let's go ahead and we'll talk about the Callaway's Pick'em Challenge. You were just talking about it. Hey, man, you got to go to robandcomrade.com. Callaway sponsors the Pick'em Challenge. They're on Highway 1, diagonal from the Walmart in West Columbia. Go by and check them out. They have great food, also the best drinks you could possibly want. Anything you want, they can make for you. Very, very cool stuff at Callaway's Bar and Grill. And they sponsor the Pick'em Challenge. If you want to get involved, Kale Hall's doing his videos about it. The Comrades spreading the love on Facebook and everything else. We're trying to get our folks up on that because
I am, man. I'm beating that thing like a dead horse.
Well, you know, it's always funny because as we get closer, the money starts coming in. Like, the reason why I'm late is because I had like 3 people message me on Facebook asking me for links and my PayPal address. So I was doing that. So you're getting close. The money starts coming in. But it's up there now, robandcomrade.com. Click on the Callaway's College Football Pick tab, and that's your home. If you're in the contest, bookmark that because that's where all the picks go up as you submit. That's where the standings will be week by week. Okay, that's kind of your home away from home for the contest. So go there now. You can start looking at the games right now. If you submit your picks and want to change them, just submit a new form. And I accept the last form you submit as long as it's before the first game is played. Okay? Yep. So if you want to make changes, you can. And we have 10 games this week. Okay? Traditional 10-game week one. We have 10 games up this week. 11 are being played this week. We didn't include the 11th game. We got 10 games like the old days. And next week, we'll go back to 5 again. So 5 is normal. 10 is the opening weekend we have. So it feels good to be alive.
Yeah, you might want to really take advantage of that, being able to change your picks. In years past, I would say don't do it because I did it and I got burnt before plenty of times doing it. But this year, with everything that's happening, I mean, you really have to be up on your stuff. I mean, some of these Las Vegas people aren't even dropping they're not even dropping their stuff until late, or they say they're not going to because you just don't know. There are like so many game day decisions this year. It's unreal.
It's funny because there's always like a handful of people in the country here who will submit like their picks 12 times. Like they will change a game. Like it's funny looking at the pattern. Like one of them, I'll bring up one of them because he's a good buddy, and he sent me his money, by the way. Nathan Medlin. I swear to the Lord, he's gotten better the last couple of years. But like 3 years ago, I swear to God, he'd have like 12 forms in there, and like he would change every single game. And he's like, man, if I would have kept form 3, I think I would have went 5-0. I'm like, yeah, and so they went 2-3. But yeah, normally I'm like with Cal. I changed my pick one time. Normally, Rob and I have a rule that we don't change our picks when we give on the show, just for transparency reasons. But one time, I forget, it was a Gamecock game, and I think I picked the Gamecocks to cover. No, I picked the Gamecocks not to cover. Okay, I picked them to lose. And then the rest of the week, I felt this strong feeling that the Gamecocks were to come out and whip some ass. I think it was more my heart talking. And so I went on the podcast page. Listen, I don't do this normally, but I'm changing my pick. It was like a Friday night. Friday night, I'm changing my pick, just so you guys know. And what do the Gamecocks do? They lay a damn egg. So
that sounds like some dyed in the wool, Knoxville, Tennessee bullshit.
Yeah. More of the story is, you usually go with your first instinct, but this year is a little different with the whole COVID. So,
right. Well, and speaking of which, I don't know. I guess this has kind of been out there, but Coach Muschamp said today in his press conference that they test everybody on Mondays starting game week. They test 3 times a week. So the reason I say that is because someone could come up positive and you got to take them, if Colin Hill and Ryan Helinski both test positive, you're looking at God knows who is your quarterback, and that's with any team across the country. So.
Luke Doty, who will win the Heisman then probably. That's what will happen.
Jay Urich, the shining star of Piedmont, South Carolina.
Piedmont. Don't know where that is. Couldn't tell me where that is.
Yeah.
I have no clue where Piedmont is. Couldn't even tell you.
Well, Callaway sponsors it. We appreciate Callaway's. Go and check them out. Highway 1 diagonal from the Walmart in West Columbia. We also have our good friend Dennis Wilson from D&C Trucking and Transport, the No Spin Zone segment with the Comrade. Comrade, read away.
It sucks to be a Gamecock. I wish I had a man with the character that Dabo Swinney has to run my football program. Deshaun Watson got paid this weekend. Since Jake Bentley is supposed to be drafted higher than Watson, he should get the same payday. Betty Wilson hates me. I'm the reason Cale Hall pisses in the sink. It's utterly shameful to be a Gamecock. Go Tigers.
What's going on, motherfuckers?
Virtual Kale joins the show.
Kale, shut up.
Why are you so mad with Virtual Kale?
I don't know. God dang, he just comes in at inopportune times. I want to beat him up one day.
I want to read a comment real quick from the Facebook group here. Scott Cooley. Did y'all hear Mike Bobo's speech on up-tempo, no huddle offense that for all teams, USC? Yeah, I heard the speech, Scott Cooley. Let me tell you right now, I pulled my car over. And I had a tear of joy came down. I heard things like they're going to huddle up. They're going to have a quarterback under center. I heard about 2 tight end sets, and I just the joy in me. The joy in me. The joy in me. Listen, it may not work, but I am a big believer. I'm sick of being copycats. I don't think you can be copycats if you're the Gamecocks. Let's spread it out. No. Let's go back and do what no one does anymore. Line it up, fullback, tailback, a couple of tight ends. Huddle up, okay, and play smash mouth football. And I love it. I am so sick of seeing 3rd and a half a foot and shotgun. Let's pitch it out to the corner, okay. I'm at a certain point, I'm going to break my TV when that happens. This year, I don't know what's going to happen. We may go 2-8, but I know one thing: we will not be 3rd and short this year and be in shotgun. And just that alone means that I will live about 5 years longer. I will live at least 5 years longer just because we'll be under center on 3rd and short. And that will just save my life. So I am excited about it. I am all in. I think this is I'm excited right now. I'm excited right now.
I got madder than hell last year a couple of times with Will Muschamp. UNC game, 4th and 1, 4th and 2. Here comes the punt team. What the hell are we doing? Why are we really doing this? No balls. No balls. Hopefully they just show some damn balls this year.
So much, fucking embarrassing.
And I would complain about this stuff to the friends of mine who are a lot younger, like people in their 20s. And I know I seem like I'm old man yells at cloud because that's what their young kids are used to. Oh, no, that's what you do, man. I go, no, I want to be under center. Get me under center. Give me under center. Give me a fullback. And God damn it. Okay, so I'm excited about that. I'm excited, and I'm going to hear it a lot. Bo wouldn't say this now. Bo would not say this, but I heard him practice from somebody else. They run a lot of 2 tight end sets in practice. I love the 2 tight end set. God, that gives me a wreck.
Well, you and I, we're all around the age where we can.
Did you just say that it's
give me a little bit? It gets me a little bit. It moves a little bit down there.
Nice.
I have to look. It does. I'm not saying full, but it kind of gets me excited. 2 tight ends. There's what you can do from a 2 tight end set, especially if both of them can kind of catch a little bit. And I think we got some tight ends who are, if they stay healthy this year, who can get down the field and make some plays. You put them 2 tight ends, they can block. You can. There's so many things you can do. Instead of just let's spread it out. Like every damn team sees that. I mean, every defense sees that. I mean, I love it. I love it.
We're going to talk about.
We're going to kick Tennessee's ass. Tennessee's ass is going to get their ass kicked. Mark it down. Freaking 14-point win at least.
Are you finished?
Yes,
can we do the show now?
I'm excited. I wish it was at 26 right now. God, 20 more days. I can't wait.
Go get some tape and tape down that 2 tight end hard on you've got.
Oh, it's a wreck, my friend. It is. I'll have to tape it down on game day when I see 2 tight ends and a fullback, and lead fullback to the, a power with the lead fullback coming through and the tight end kicking a guy. Oh my God, I'll be freaking. I tell you right now.
I'm gonna call Comrade the galloping ghost because he's got a 3rd leg right now.
I'll be orgasmic when I see it. Oh, it's gonna be great.
That's fucking trash.
Exactly. Thank you, Virtual Kale. Virtual Kale. Let's see here. Jonathan says that he wants to know if the soundboard, if I can make that soundboard publicly available. I have to ask real life Kale because Virtual Kale doesn't give a fuck. But if real life Kale doesn't mind it going out there, I might post it later on.
How about we monetize that? I think we should monetize that. How about making an app and download it for $2.99? $2.99. Download the app right there. Bam.
Oh my God.
I gotta market this shit now. Come on.
Fuck him. I don't ever want to see the motherfucker again.
Exactly.
Jonathan Boatwright would pay $2.99 for that app. I guarantee you he'd pay $3 for that app.
Jonathan Boatwright, if you get in the competition, I will send you the link for the virtual.
There you go.
There you go.
Is Boatwright a Georgia fan?
Who get in, I'll send you the link. That's how it works.
Is Boatwright I know he's a Yankee fan. Is he a Georgia fan? Who's his team?
No, he's a Coot fan. Brock says for it. Brock, I'm telling you, Brock, you are one of the somewhat new listeners to the show that has to get into our Pick'em challenge, sir. Got to make sure you get in, sir. All right, look, we've got a lot to get into tonight. We're going to do game-by-game predictions for both South Carolina and Clemson, but I wanted to go ahead and do top to bottom for, divisions for the SEC. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on this, but I want to have it on record where we think we're going to go. That way we can talk about it and see how we do at the end of the season. So my picks, I'm going to give you my picks for the East first, then we'll go with my fine co-host here. Starting at the top, as I look at my notes here, I've got Florida winning the East, followed by Georgia. Then I've got Kentucky. And after Kentucky, make sure I've got all my stuff together here. Florida, Georgia, Kentucky. And then I'm going to go Tennessee. And then I'm going to go South Carolina, Mizzou, and Vandy. Kale, what are your picks for the East, brother?
Okay, at 10-0, I'm taking Florida in first place. I'm taking Georgia 8-2 with losses to Alabama and Florida. I'm taking South Carolina at 5-5. The wins are Tennessee, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, Ole Miss, and Missouri. I'm taking in fourth place Tennessee. The wins are or the losses. Excuse me. No, the wins: Arkansas, Kentucky, Missouri, and Vanderbilt. And fifth place, I'm taking Missouri. The wins are Vanderbilt, Arkansas, and Kentucky. Sixth place, I'm taking Kentucky. Their wins are Ole Miss and Vanderbilt. And then last place, Vanderbilt finishes up 0-10. Just they had like all their offensive line is opted out. All their skill position players are gone. They do have a lot of players returning on defense, but their leading tackler opted out. They're in bad shape up there.
All right,
Your thoughts, Mike?
Yeah, go ahead, Mike. We'll go to you, and don't give us the records. Just give us the order of finish so that we have it.
All
okay?
right. Number one in the SC East, the team that everyone's sleeping on. Everyone's sleeping on. I can't stand their fans. The Georgia Bulldogs will win the East. Okay, we're going to party like it's 1980. The Bulldogs win the East. Florida, number 2. The Fighting Bobos, number 3. That's the Gamecocks. Tennessee, 4. Kentucky, 5. Missouri, 6. And the Commodores, with Lionel Richie, number 7.
All right, moving on to the West. For me, I'm taking Alabama at 1, LSU at 2. I'm going to go with Auburn at 3, and then A&M at 4. And let's see here. I'm going to go A&M at 4. I'm going to go Ole Miss, then Mississippi State, and then Arkansas toting up the rear. Cale, what do you got, brother?
First place there, I'm taking Alabama. Number 2 is Auburn. Number 3, LSU. Number 4, Texas A&M. Number 5, Mississippi State. Number 6, Ole Miss. Number 7, Arkansas.
All right, Comrade, what you got?
I got Bama 1. I got LSU 2. Everyone's sleeping on LSU. I like their defense. LSU 2. I got Texas A&M 3. Kellen Mond. Sleeper Heisman. Sleeper Heisman guy. Sleeper Heisman. Number 3. Chad Morris run Auburn Tigers at 4. Ole Miss 5. And a little upset here for you. A little upset for you. Okay? Arkansas, addition by subtraction. No more Chad Morris. They're in the 6 hole. And Mississippi State with Leachy Leach 7.
You sorry motherfuckers!
Oh, goddamn. I have too much fun with virtual Cale. All right, well, I tell you what, why don't we head into, all right, since I'll let you gentlemen pick first. You want to go game by game with South Carolina or Clemson first? Cale, where do you want to go?
Let's do Clemson first because
let's do Clemson first.
Let's do Clemson first because that really is the most uninteresting one. Let's be honest with you. Like, people are tuning in for the Gamecock game by game. So let's do the Clemson one first, kind of like the warm-up act. You know what I mean? Kind of like when I went to go see. I went to go see Aerosmith years ago at the Coliseum, and you know who opened for them? 4 Non-Blondes. Let's do 4 Non-Blondes first, and then we'll do Aerosmith next. Okay, good analogy.
I mean, I'm not even going to say anything because my team's going to be in the playoffs, and y'all.
Let's go with 4 Non-Blondes first. What's going on?
You want to take bets on that, Cale, that my team will do better than yours this year?
I didn't say I want to take bets on it. You said playoffs, and I said we'll see. We didn't talk nothing about doing better than nobody else.
Well, you know why, right?
You're trying to compare apples to oranges. We're not.
Because you fucking suck. Thanks.
Oh, well.
First game of the season is at Wake Forest, which is 6 days from now. Clemson is a 32-point favorite. I've got the Tigers to win. Cale, are you picking Clemson or Wake?
I'll take Clemson and a nail biter.
Clemson and a nail biter. Okay. Comrade, who you got?
First of all, the spread for our contest was 31. It's opened up as. Just so you know, in our contest, before I get complaints about the point spreads, are the opening lines on Vegas Insider. Don't bitch about them. I don't make them. So 31 is a point spread in that one right there. Tough game on the road. I mean, listen, you got to Wake Forest. You got to bring your A game because the Demon Deacons are rich in football history and atmosphere.
Yeah.
Dear Lord. I'll take Clemson to win the game. I'll take Clemson.
Okay. The Citadel, Clemson does not have a problem with the Citadel, unlike the South Carolina Gamecocks do. but the Clemson will stomp the Citadel. So there you go. Who are you picking there, Kale?
Taters.
Comrade?
I love the Citadel. I love their graduates. None of them are suckers or losers except for one person. There's one sucker or loser from the Citadel. I won't name him here. He wears mom jeans.
Get mad and
he wears mom.
He wears the road when
he wears mom jeans and he's on his phone while he Facebooks. He's a danger to society. Only one bad apple. He's a sucker and loser. The rest are heroes.
I fucking hate
All
it.
right, so I'm going to take Clemson to take care of the Citadel, though.
We lost to the Citadel for the second time in 25 fucking years.
Yeah, thanks, Virtual Kale. Appreciate that. So far we have Clemson going 2-0. Up next is a home game with Virginia. Virginia's lost a lot. I thought that game would have been closer, in my opinion, if they had their quarterback back, but he's gone. So Clemson wins big. Kale, what do you got?
Taters.
Comrade?
Taters. This is boring as hell.
Up next, Miami at home. We got some Miami fans that listen to the show. They're going to be fucking leaving after that game. Clemson wins by 20. Kale, what do you got?
Miami sucks. Taters.
Comrade, what you got?
All right, so I'm not going to foreshadow anything, okay? But everyone's picking the Notre Dame game was the game that Clemson might lose, okay? And Clemson when they lose another season, they tend to lose the teams you don't expect. And I see a hurricane coming in. I see a hurricane blowing in, and I see it taking Dabo down. Take the Hurricanes with the upset of the year. Hurricanes beat Clemson, knock them down. Hurricanes.
I would cut 4 flips, do 3 circles, 3 snaps, circle, probably run around my neighborhood naked.
I see all kinds of memes and all kinds of shit I'll do for 4 weeks after that. I can just visualize me just doing shit to trigger people. Hurricanes, you know. I might even comb my hair like Jimmy Johnson for that next month. Just do the whole helmet thing over.
That would be badass.
Just like this, clapping.
Up next, the Tigers go to Georgia Tech. Clemson gets the win there. Kale, what do you got?
Taters.
Comrade, what you got?
I got taters.
Syracuse is the next game on the schedule. Comrade, you get to go first this time.
Never sleep on the Cuse, except this year in this game. Take Clemson.
Yeah. Kale, what do you got, bud? Syracuse or Clemson?
Taters.
All right, I've got Clemson too. Up next is Boston College. That game's at home. Boston College, by the way, has 2 preseason All-ACC offensive linemen, which just to kind of throw that out there. But Clemson wins by 25. Kale, what do you got?
Wet fart. Taters.
Carolina Fan Talk says, I'm looking in your window, Kale. If somebody's looking in your window, I'll give you $50 right now to take your ass and stick it in the window just so they can see it. I want to make sure it's on camera. We don't have to see your ass. Just see you drop trowel and stick your ass in the window.
Is that a tater?
I'm not doing that. If anybody's looking at my window and
shoot him.
He's
Stand your ground.
He's going to be catching some fucking buckshot in his damn ear.
There you go.
And I ain't down playing.
Stand your ground law right there.
Stand your ground and show up your ass for $50, Kale. All right, you got Boston College or Clemson, Kale?
I'll shoot him with your fucking ass whoop. Taters.
Comrade, what do you got?
I'm going to take Clemson, but I do like BC week. I get to post Doug Flutie pictures on Facebook all week leading up to it to trigger people. So I do like Doug Flutie. But I'm going to take the Taters in that one as well.
Up next, Clemson goes to Notre Dame. There will be nothing but Notre Dame students and faculty in the stands. Clemson wins by 10. Kale, what do you got?
Tough game, tough atmosphere. They're on a roll, though. I still say Taters. I don't think Notre Dame's quite got the jimmies or the toes this year to take them down.
Bringing the hose, though.
By about 10 or 14.
Kale, Comrade, what you
behind them?
I'm taking Clemson here because in my scenario, Clemson already got 1 loss. So at this point, they're not going to slip up anymore. They got that loss, and fortunately for them, like it always works out for them, they lose shit early, have time to recover to impress the playoff committee with their tough schedule, and they'll beat Notre Dame here, and Dabo will have a new phrase he thought up during the sidelines when he wasn't calling them players or coaching, some new phrase about, some crappy-ass – there'll be T-shirts next week, and that will vault them into the playoff contention. Take the Clemson Tigers.
Up next is at FSU. I've got the Tigers winning there. I think FSU is going to be a shit show. So give me the Tigers over.
But they
FSU.
got them ranked. Not that really means anything this year, but
at this point in the season, doesn't really matter. But yeah, at FSU, I think Clemson wins. I think it'll be close in the first half, and then Clemson will pull away. But give me the Tigers with the win there. Kale, you're up.
Tatters.
Comrade, you're up.
I take Clemson, but this might be a game where I may like the Noles with the points. I'm not sure the points will be probably a 17-point spread, but then 18. I can see Florida State hanging around a little bit and having a moral victory this one. So moral victory to the Noles, a victory to Clemson.
All right, up next is Pitt, final home game of the season. I think that Pitt will be a tough game, but Clemson will win that game like probably 31-23, something like that. But give me the Tigers to get the win over Pitt. Kale, you're up.
I think Clemson gets some revenge on Pitt for spoiling things in their home. Damn, that was the last time Clemson lost at home, wasn't it? It's a long time ago.
Yes, sir.
I think I got the Taters there.
Well, technically that's correct, Cal. Remember, a few years ago, it felt like a loss at home to the Gamecocks. Remember their paper?
Yeah,
it felt like a loss. It felt like a loss to them. I'm just going by what their paper said. It felt like a loss. So, I mean, that's it. So,
I had on good authority. I had on good authority at halftime of that game. Some of their hillbilly fans were sitting around quietly talking to themselves and to their friends.
Oh, yeah, they were.
We're going to lose this damn shit.
One of them will fight the Comrade. That's a
Dennis,
fact.
They're going to beat us.
Dennis and Rob were both having, anxiety attacks a little bit. They're trying to, they're doing this, and they're like going, and I think Dennis told me, if you guys pull this off, I'm not driving you home.
That old Bentley boy is out there trashing us.
Let's be completely honest though. Someone wanted to fight you about midway through the third quarter, and
I did nothing wrong. Did I do anything wrong?
Look at him throwing all over the place. He's making Tanner Muse look almost.
All I was doing was cheering for my team. Correct, Rob?
It was funny. It was funny that somebody wanted to fight.
I did say something kind of mindly
because the only time that Dennis and I were nervous in that game was when you were going to fight with this guy, and we had to determine, were we going to defend you, or were we just going to kick back and deal with it, comrade?
He was like, it was his mom too. His mom was mad at me. Like I forgot. There's only one thing I said that was borderline. Might have been a little bit wrong. I forgot what I was now. I might have just.
Yeah, I know exactly what it was. Hey, if your kicker misses a kick, don't send him death threats.
Okay. That actually wasn't bad. That was me trying to make them better people. I would say, listen.
Christ.
I go, don't send him death threats, because that's what you guys do. So that actually wasn't that bad. They shouldn't get mad at me. Get mad at yourself.
Okay. Up next is the final game of the season. The Tigers go to Virginia Tech. And, gentlemen, I think Clemson drops this game. Wait, what? Yes, I think Clemson drops this game. Clemson playing at Lane Stadium. It's a tough place to play. It's going to be cold as fuck because it's December the 5th. And Clemson hasn't played a game in that cold of weather outside in like forever. Tim Beret put out a stat on that the other day, and I mean, there's a chance that could be the coldest game in Clemson history as far as when they kickoff time. So, yeah, I think the cold will get to them a little bit. I think they might be looking a little bit ahead to the ACC championship game, and I think Clemson drops that game. So it'll be close. It'll be a dogfight, ugly, nasty type game. It's like always in December, generally the first week of December, we have like a pissy set of weather that rolls through here on the East Coast. And it's always muddy for about 4 or 5 days. And I just predict that's going to be right there at it for Clemson, and Clemson will drop that game to Virginia Tech, and everyone will be talking about Justin Fuentes got it back, got Virginia Tech going. They'll be next year's Texas as they're finally back. But I think Clemson loses that game to Virginia Tech. Cale, what do you got?
Well, you kind of stole my thunder on that one, and we're thinking a lot on the same lines. I think they drop that game too. Virginia Tech got a really good defense coming back. Yeah, they lost one of their players, one of their defensive backs opted out, but they still got a lot coming back, and I think you're right. I mean, I think the cold, I think that the complacency for getting ready for the ACC championship game will kind of, be, enough to, just give them a little bit of a mind fuck, where they're just not quite ready for this. And, they're used to facing a different set of competition the last week in the season. Nobody's even talked about that. The fact they're, up here with these players.
They've got to play Pitt the week before, and Pitt has, in my opinion, on the defensive side of the ball, they've got 3 players on the defensive line that are going to be playing on Sundays. Get tuned up a little bit with that. You might be aching a little bit. I mean, it's not that far-fetched. By the way, shout out to the folks online that think that I'm huffing gas. Did somebody say I'm smoking crack? If I'm smoking crack, I'm the fattest crack whore you've ever seen. Let me put that out there. But go ahead, Cale, finish up.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I mean, I think that's just a bad spot for them up there. Virginia Tech, it's been a long time since they've had that good, feel-good, big-time win over a big-time program, and I think they finally get you. They were really looking forward, I think, to playing Penn State at home this year, and they're not going to get to do that. Everybody was talking about that as a trendy upset pick. Well, I mean, I think you could be their Penn State.
You might be right.
It's just you're better than Penn State. So,
Comrade, what you got?
Well, I would, as a great stat by Tim Beret, I would tweet back at him, my memories of a cold game, but he's got me blocked on Twitter. No idea why. But anyway, I want to bring up one game. Comrade story time real quick. 1996, I drove up from heaven on earth here in Columbia up to shithole Clemson.
I'll be right back.
Okay, and listen, this is still early in my South Carolina days. Okay, I'm senior in college. Anyway, I forget that it gets cold as hell in Clemson, so I go up there with jeans on and a t-shirt because in Columbia it's like 75 degrees. Okay, go up to the shithole and it's like freezing, and we won the game, great game. We drive back home, my buddy and I, in a Chevy Beretta. My friend's Beretta, though, the AC and the heat stopped working like 2 weeks earlier. No big deal. It's 75 degrees. But on the way back home, it was a problem. It was freezing. And he drove, and the whole way home, I had to have my hands down my pants just to keep them warm. Okay? I drove with hands down my pants the whole way. It was freezing.
I mean, that could also be fun.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun. But this is only I'm still got Yankee blood in me at this point.
Pocket pool in the Beretta.
Yeah, I still have Yankee blood in me at this point. I'm only 3 years removed from living in New York, and I froze. So I like to go check that 96 game, Clemson, South Carolina, what the temperature was when the dude missed the kick. I've got his name now. Which kicker missed the kick? Was it Padgett? Okay, I know it wasn't Jad Dean. That was later on. So when Padgett missed the kick there, I don't know what the temperature was at that point because I froze on the way home. So anyway, that being said,
you should be able to look in the Gamecock Media Guide. It'll tell you the temperature at kickoff or all the games back to like whenever they started recording that.
Yeah, but it was freezing. I've never been so cold. It's a long ass ride, man.
That's a cool stat. I used to collect media guides. I've got a lot of them here, but most of them are older. And they didn't put that in there back when I was collecting them. I was started doing it.
But it was cold. Man, it's cold as hell up there. I don't know how people live up there. Anyway, so that being said, here's the problem with Virginia Tech. Okay, I like their team. I like their talent, I should say. I'm just worried that at this point, with Fuente, have they given up on Fuente at this point? I could see a scenario maybe where Fuente resigns. Maybe things get really bad. And he resigns like in week 7, and maybe the interim coach takes over and they play for him and they come out and play to their talent and beat you guys. But I have a bad feeling that it could be a tire fire at that point. Like, I don't think Fuente wants to be there. I think so. That's the only issue right now. Talent wise, I agree with both of you that could be a game that Clemson gets tripped up. My question is, will Virginia Tech be kind of all in, as Dab likes to say, that get their players on the same page? And so I think the best scenario for Gamecock fans who like watching Clemson lose is maybe they have Fuente get the axe or resign, and an interim coach takes over that they love, and the players go out there and say, I want to keep this job and win this for me. And they go out there and win the game, for him and do something like that. So, but I'm going to take Clemson, though.
In his defense, Fuente's done just as well up there as Frank Beamer did like the last 5 years he was coaching there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what they were expecting from him, but he took them to the ACC championship game the first year he was the coach. And I don't know.
Curtis Shaw says, I thought these guys knew football. LMAO, I guess not. Look, I'm just being a realist. It's hard to go through any season undefeated. It's not easy. I mean, if you're a logical person, you have to think that way. It's not easy.
Let's solve this shit right now. Curtis Shaw, send me your money, $20, get the contest, and we'll see how much football you know. Real simple. RobinComrade.com, get in the contest, Curtis Shaw, put the $20 in, join the contest, and let's see who knows
it is hard to go undefeated. I mean, Clemson lost to freaking Syracuse a few years ago, and then Syracuse didn't win another game all year long.
The national championship team lost to fucking Pitt at home. Sean Watson threw for almost 500 yards, and they lost. So let's just stop. Just be realistic.
Crazy shit happens. And the Gamecocks lost to North Carolina last year. Crazy shit happens.
I mean, it happens. You lose to bad teams.
God damn it, Kale. You're killing me with that. All right, so we all have them going 11-1. Comrade has them losing to Miami. I've got them losing to Vatech along with Kale losing them to Vatech. Let's move to South Carolina. South Carolina opens up the season at home with Tennessee on September the 26th. I am picking South Carolina to win this game. And the reason that I'm picking South Carolina to win this game, to quote Cale Hall, it's nothing that you've done. It's nothing that you have done. Okay? This will be the first COVID-19 game of the season. 44 players tested positive. What was it, yesterday with Tennessee? I don't know if they're going to be all out of the mix or not. I think Tennessee, if they had all their players and they didn't have the COVID bug biting them, I think they win by 10 points. Without all of their players, I think South Carolina ekes one out. So give me South Carolina to get the win in the opener over Tennessee. Look, and I'll explain why later on. And, I'm sure one of these fools that's on this show with me is going to probably pick the Gamecocks to go 6-4 or 7-3. And we'll laugh and laugh and laugh. But I think that with the depleted roster, Tennessee will drop that game. So get the game to South Carolina. Cale, you're up.
Well, I'm taking the Gamecocks in that one too, and we would have won it even without the depleted roster. Look here, you lose your top two receivers who were so much of your offense last year, and you don't really have anybody competent to replace them with. That's a problem. That's also a problem that you've got a great offensive line, but you really don't have any skill position talent. I mean, you've been harping on, beating up on your quarterback for 4 years, that he's not any good, and that wears on a guy. It's a home game. It's a revenge spot. Will Muschamp, I think that he's coaching to get himself off the hot seat this year. He's not going to get fired. I mean, no matter what happens, I don't give a shit if he goes 1-9 this year. He will not get fired because there are just too many built-in excuses. There's too many built-in excuses this year that are already there. So he's coaching to get himself off the hot seat. And I feel like if he will leave Mike Bobo alone long enough to let the man run his offense, keep his ass out of it, don't worry about what's going on over that side of the ball. You don't even need to be venturing to that damn huddle at any point in time. You need to stay with the defense. Hang out with the punter. Hang out down here with whoever the fuck. I think that we're going to be okay. I personally think, they played together for a couple of years. They've known each other for a long time. I think Mike Bobo is a guy that Will Muschamp's not going to be able to push around. Okay, I think he pushed Brian McClendon around a little bit. I think Brian McClendon was a good coach, but I think that he fucked with his game plan so damn bad until he just made everything just go to fucking shit. And whatever Brian tried to do was just a monkey wrench was thrown in it, and that was the monkey wrench named Boom. So I don't think he's going to push Bobo around. I think South Carolina will be able to move the ball enough on Tennessee. They've lost Daryl Taylor off the defensive line. They lost Daniel Batuli was linebacker, was a really good player for them. They've lost enough pieces off that defense. And you talk about that, the 44 players didn't test positive for corona. I was corrected on my video. It was only 7 players, but the rest of them had trace contact with people. That's not a good situation. They're not disciplined up there. They're not doing the things that they need to do to take. No, they're not. They're not doing things that they're doing to take care of themselves up there. And then in the same breath, some idiot told me that Jeremy Pruitt was a great coach. No, it's not. No, he's not. He's not a great coach. He's not taking care of that program like he should be. And I think we'll win this ball game. I'm sorry that I went long on that one. Comrade, we'll take your thoughts on the game.
But there is a person on this podcast who has quoted as saying, there's audio of him saying that Jeremy Pruitt's a great coach. Just going to put it out there.
I'll say it again here.
And it's not Kale. And it's not Kale. And it's not me.
A great coach. Jeremy Pruitt's a great coach. Let me say it again. Jeremy Pruitt's a great coach. He's a better coach than Will Muschamp will be.
But you have Muschamp beating him this year. But you have Muschamp beating him this year. Correct? You picked the game pass beating him this year, right?
Right, I did, because he's got 44 players tested positive for COVID.
That's a reflection of the coach.
Being better than Will Muschamp doesn't make you great.
The Gamecocks
not a very high ceiling.
Tennessee. I don't care if Tennessee brought back Philip Fulmer and T. Martin. Okay? They're beating Tennessee. I have no excuses. They're going to beat Tennessee because they're not ready. They're not ready for what they're going to see in offense. They're not ready. They can't prepare for it. They're not ready. They're not ready. And I'm telling you right now, they're beating Tennessee by, I'm going to say right now, by 3 scores. Beating them by 3 scores.
Fuck off.
In the fourth quarter, I'm putting my feet up. I was thinking of this. Because I'm not too worried. I'll probably tell my wife, with my 8 minutes to go in the game, I'll tell my wife, what do you mean to do right now? Because this game's over. This game's already over. Which Nate?
Curtis Shaw over on YouTube says Tennessee has way better players. Wow. Who?
Curtis will not get. He will not get in the contest, though. He will not get in the contest. Curtis will not get in the contest because he knows he doesn't know football and he'll get embarrassed.
Listen, people in the chat room. They had 44 players test positive. Do you understand what that means? They tested positive yesterday. So the earliest they can come out
they had to cancel. They canceled their fucking scrimmage. They had to cancel their scrimmage, and how many? You don't get that many scrimmages. No, they canceled the scrimmage. That's not good. They're losing a lot of repetition there.
They tested positive on Saturday. Okay? They have to quarantine for 14 fucking days, which means they can't come out of fucking quarantine until the goddamn game. I don't understand why people are so crazy
about that. Yesterday was the 5th, and that would be they wouldn't be coming out of quarantine until the 19th.
Excuse me, I'm a week off. All right, so they'll have a week. So if everybody gets tested back in, they're going to be without players. I mean, it's not that hard.
That's pretty tough for the old Baltards.
Well, you don't have all your
shape. They'll be winded. That old line's pounding on them. The old line's be pounding on them.
The comrade is right. They're going to be out of football shape. You miss 2 weeks, it's going to kill you. They're sitting in their apartment right now eating goddamn Publix chicken wings. That's what the hell they're doing.
2 tight ends, a fullback head. Them good.
Up there in Knoxville, they eat Food City chicken wings.
Exactly. Up next, the Gamecocks go to Florida. They lose by probably 17 points. South Carolina is not a good football team. Florida will eat them up on the ground, through the air. However, this is like a scrimmage game for Florida because South Carolina is just not that good. Give me the Gators to get the win. Cale, your turn.
Well, I think they got something to prove this year. And the Gamecocks last 2 times out were 0-2 against the Gators. Lost the last 2 games, both of them. 2018 there was no excuse for losing that game. Fell apart in the fourth quarter. Last year had them on the ropes going on in the fourth quarter. So they're making a push for the SEC East this year. They got something to prove. I think that it'll be another game where it's close in the first half, but defensively, I think Florida, they've lost some players, but they're still going to have enough pieces there. And Todd Grantham's a good defensive coordinator. I think they'll put a package together. I think that they'll, just stymie us. That offense, I don't see us being that productive against them. And I think in the second half, Trask and Trayvon Grimes and Kyle Pitts, the guy that's tied in, I'm really impressed with. Kind of pick us apart a little bit, and they'll probably be win by a couple touchdowns.
All right.
Look at that,
Conrad,
there, Mike.
you're going to pick Florida because you're due.
I pride myself on being unbiased and getting the opinions of unbiased people. Okay? And I've researched this, and all the cards point to Mr. Trask of Florida not having a good year. Okay? And who do they play in week 1 in Florida? Do you know?
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. Okay, perfect. Okay, Ole Miss is not a good team. Okay, not a good defense. And this will be his first game where we start to see the warts. And I think he's going to hang a few balls up there. Okay, I think our DBs, our unbelievable defensive backs, DBU, I think they're going to pick off a couple of them. And I think the Gamecocks will keep it on the ground, play conservative, and they'll pull off the win, much like the Georgia game last year, much like that one there, and then we'll go on. And, yeah, they are due. They should have won last year, should have beat them 2 years ago. Okay? They should have a 2-game winning streak in Florida right now over some bullshit. The bullshit ends this year. Trask throws some picks. The Gamecocks pull the upset, and we're 2-0, baby. We're 2-0, and the committee is looking over us right now at 2-0. I'm not saying
with that being said, us knocking off Florida would not be as earth-shattering a win as us knocking off Georgia between the hedges. I mean, it just wouldn't because we've had them on the ropes the past 2 years, and we are due. But I don't think we get that win. I get your angle and I get where you're coming from on it.
Just because you're due doesn't mean shit. Clemson was due to beat North Carolina in fucking Chapel Hill. They went up there with one of the best Clemson teams ever and lost to a Matt Doherty team that was 9-15. Okay, just because you're due doesn't mean shit. You have no fucking talent on that team besides your secondary.
That's not true.
That is completely
Trask will have a bad year this year. Mark it down. Trask is going to struggle.
Pass rush.
Struggle. Gators are going to wish for the days of Felipe Franks.
Get the fuck out of here. You are just a fucking...
Trask will
be unbiased.
I go by experts. These are the experts. These are pro football focus numbers. The experts, the analysts, they all say last year was kind of flukish for them. And when you have a flukish season, the next year usually you come back and get paid back for it. The Gamecocks had a little fluky season, that 9-4 year. We got our ass handed back to us next year. Look for Trask to struggle, and I think the first game he struggles in is the Gamecock game.
Now you have a good day.
All right. Thanks, Virtual Kale.
First show over on YouTube says South Carolina has no wide receivers. What the hell do you call Shi Smith on fucking Waterboy? You stupid ass. God, there's got to be a damn turd of the week every week. And he's taking the cake 2 weeks in a row.
Kale, do you want to die on the hill that Shi Smith is an all-SEC type receiver?
Did I say he was a damn all-SEC? No, I didn't. He said we have no wide receivers.
SEC caliber receiver. How about that? You think he's an
SEC caliber? It says no wide receivers.
The wild card is a man named Luke Doty. Remember the name? Talk about carry receiver. Luke Doty.
I mean,
Luke
this is
Doty.
South Carolina quarterback.
Talk it away. There's a reason why Otrey Smith opted out, my friends, because Luke Doty's better than he was taking his minutes. He said, you know what? I can't be another quarterback. Look for Luke Doty at special teams.
That's absolutely true. I don't want to get off on a tangent That doesn't have what to do with what we're talking about right now, but there is a reason for that. There's a reason for that
Luke
opting out.
Doty.
And while I was listening to the Zach Smith Minnesota Sports podcast that he dropped Friday, and he's talking about Jamar Chase at LSU opting out. He said, "Do you think this dude is really opting out because he's scared of COVID?" And
He's scared of Luke?
No. He said Jamar Chase opted out because he's in training camp and he's getting some reps and he's getting some passes thrown to him by Miles Brown. And he's like, "Whoa, look, I'm not playing with Joe Burrow anymore. This is going to make my draft stock go down. I'm going to just damn opt out. I got an easy way out." And I think there's a lot to that. I think there's a lot to a lot of this stuff. Quitting because the competition's too rough. Quitting because it's going to hurt my draft stock. Ain't nobody quitting because they're scared they're going to get sick.
Hey, Curtis, Luke is your father, okay? Luke Doty is your father. Look for Luke Doty and light it up. Curtis, get in the contest. I want to beat you in the contest and laugh at you. Get in the contest. I guarantee you this. Curtis, if you get in the contest, you will not beat any of us on this show, okay? You might come in fourth place. Doubt it. You will not beat any of us three, okay? I will bet you in a side wager that you will not beat any of the three of us.
Up next at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt has, as Cale said it earlier, he stole what Cale said earlier about Vanderbilt with their offensive line opting out and everybody opting out and just I wrote down loss of players. Vanderbilt is going to be a shit show. I think Arkansas would beat them by 2 touchdowns. Vandy's going to be terrible. And I predict after that game, that's the game that the Comrade will come in here with the Gamecocks at what I think is going to be 1-1, or maybe what I think is going to be.
They'll be 3-0 this game's over.
But they could be 1-2. But the Comrade's going to come in here and he's going to be like, "Yeah, buddy, plenty of room on the Muschamp bus, folks. Step right on in." And I'm just going to be laughing because, they suck. I mean, that's just basically it. But I got them taking the win there over Vandy. Cale, are you going to take the Commodores or are you going with the Gamecocks here?
I'm going with the Gamecocks, much like I did last year. We won 24-7. I think we win like 24-7 again. They got
I think if Vanderbilt scores, everybody should be running up and down the stairs at Williams-Brice Stadium. I mean, Vanderbilt should not.
They're not playing at Williams-Brice Stadium, so
they're at Vandy. Well, everybody walk home.
I got you.
I
think we'll win about 24-7. I think they'll be keeping it a little bit low scoring because I do think the 9 return players on Vanderbilt's defense will make an impact, but they're not going to be able to move the ball at all, period. So it'll be a lot like South Carolina's team last year. You can't move the ball. They might have a decent defense, but it looks bad. The defense looks bad because it's tired and it's on the field all the time.
All right, Comrade, what's your pick?
Gamecocks win, and I think the Gamecocks defense scores more than Vanderbilt scores the whole game. I think the Gamecocks get 2 touchdowns on defense.
Up next for the Gamecocks is a home game with Auburn. I think this game will be closer than people think, but I think Auburn will get the win. So another loss there for South Carolina. Cale, you got Auburn or you got South Carolina here?
Yeah, after the fleeting start, kind of get snapped back to reality a little bit. I think Bo Nix is better than people realize. That his numbers last year were good. They weren't great, but he was a true freshman playing in the SEC West at that. I think he's going to get better. Some really capable wide receivers. Seth Williams, NFL player for next year's draft. Anthony Schwartz, one of the best players in football. They'll figure out something running back. They always do. They're always good around the line of scrimmage. So I think we dropped that game at home, but that'll be a close one too. I'm sure that's a game that they're geared up and they were happy to see added to the schedule. We haven't played them in Williams-Brice in like 10 years. And I think that'll be a big day in Columbia for the 10,000 fans in attendance. But I think we still drop it. Mike, what do you think?
This is one of the games I really want to win this year because I'm sick of losing to Auburn. The game, what year was it now? Garcia's last start.
2011.
Yeah, 2011 was just a team we should have won that game easily. We fucked it up badly. It still bothers me. That being said, Bo Nix, I don't. He's too inconsistent. But since we're the Gamecocks, I have a feeling that he'll have his best game of the year against us. I think this will be one of his best games. He'll have one of those games where he's great. And unfortunately, I think we're gonna drop this one and go to 3-1. It's our first loss of the year. It'll be one of those games too where we'll have all kinds of chances to win, and it'll be all kinds of kind of should-haves and this stuff, and it'll be a great post-game call-in show game. Those games you called in and why didn't we? All this stuff. So I think we lose a tough one in Gamecock fashion. I think Bo Nix has his big day. We get beat.
Over here, all these people tell me, it sounded like I was peeing in the microphone. Stop pissing in the sink. First off, I didn't piss in the sink. I pissed in the toilet. And I had to go take a wee, people. I mean, we're sitting here. I'm drinking drinks, some flavored water. I have a beer here, and it goes through me. Sue me for being fucking human. I don't have a damn colonoscopy bag hanging down here for me to take a leak yet.
By the way, I did speak to a friend of the show, Dennis Wilson. He said if he would sponsor your colostomy bag as long as we put the DNC Trucking and Transport logo on it.
There you go.
That Kale.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Look, the man got away from the booming business and the 5 kids long enough to comment here on the live stream. I'm proud of
him. Shit. Up next for South Carolina, they play LSU.
Sit down for just a little bit on Sunday night.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Up next for South Carolina is LSU. South Carolina will, I think, score 3 points, and LSU will throat fuck them. Give me LSU to win big. Kale, what's your pick?
Goddamn. That's just dumb. Okay, I'm sorry. That's just a dumb take on that game. These is another team South Carolina don't play very often. They've lost their fucking play caller. They've lost their 3 good players on defense, 2 good players on their offense, a totally new quarterback, totally new system, totally new defensive
then have a set of balls and pick your team to win.
I'm not going to pick the fucking team to win, but you're sitting here acting like we're going to get throat punched like it's last year's team. That ain't last year. That's not the team. It's not the team. That's not the team that embarrassed yours in the national championship.
Their second string will throat fuck your first string. You have no talent except for your
fucking they was just sitting here losing. They sat here and lost to fucking Troy in 2017, and now y'all ain't like they're the best fucking football team that ever wakes up and says that boost. I think they win. They win 35 to fucking 20. How about that? LSU. Yeah, man.
Hey, guess what? I don't think there's anybody on this team that lost to Troy, but your entire fucking team, with the exception of your freshman, lost to App State. All right, that's where your
losing to App. So did that North Carolina team whose dick you've been down sucking all off season.
Hey, North Carolina didn't beat us last
night. You put that in your pipe and smoke it. Probably smoked y'all ass last year too. Truth be known.
We didn't lose. Sorry. I know that hurts feelings, but we didn't lose. Okay? Kale will be great during baseball season when the Gamecocks are probably worth a fucking baseball, but
referees in the back pocket
for shit, and he's still trying to defend them like Comrade, which is kind of funny.
Referee in the back pocket.
Huge.
Oh, Dabo patted him on the thing for that game. He said, let's lose Troy, all right?
Sure. Are you picking the Gamecocks or LSU there, Kale?
I told you I'm picking LSU to win 35 to fucking 20.
Pussy. I would have picked after that tirade you had. I would have fucking picked the goddamn Gamecocks. It's not going to matter. Your team
I'm not having a damn tirade about us losing LSU. That ain't something to have a damn tirade over. I'm having a tirade over the lack of fucking respect.
Respect for
That's
what,
what
Cam? What the fuck should I respect South Carolina for?
You respect them.
Please tell me why I should respect South Carolina. This is going to be good.
Because they are the best team that has fucking pissed away stout wins the past 5 years. The best team that put up a bunch of damn yards against teams that still lost to them, and the best team that just, I don't know, just has some shitty damn luck.
Comrade, please pick the game with LSU.
All right, so this is a good question for Kale too. If you only have, if the Gamecocks only win one game this year, what game would you want? We don't play Clemson this year. That's usually the pick I would. But this is probably the game right here. I would love to be LSU just so I can say in 2020, 1-0 against LSU. You guys are 0-1 against LSU.
All right, well then you have a set of balls. Pick LSU.
So no. I'm saying that's what I want to happen. Okay.
Unit.
I have been the one.
Pull out your drawers. It's like a Ken doll.
I have been the one since early in the year, early in the 2020, to say that people are underestimating LSU. And here's the thing: you know who's come around? You've come around because you have LSU pick a second in the West now. About 4 months ago, you were all LSU one-hit wonder, and I had to talk you into football.
I do think they're a one-hit wonder, but I do think they'll finish second in the West.
I know, but a lot of people picking them fourth in the West. A lot of people picking them fourth. Okay,
so pick them finish fourth.
Okay, well, a lot of people are. There are people out there are. So anyway,
third is the floor for them. Third is if everything fucks up and goes.
There are people picking Auburn and A&M ahead of them too.
Those people are fucking stupid.
Well, I'm just saying. So,
we finish it below fourth.
So, I think they have LSU is the best defense in the country. They have the best defense in the country. I'm looking. By the way, this is why it's great to be a Gamecock in the schedule, though. I love the fact we play all these really good teams because that's what college football is all about. I would slip my wrist if I had to go play Wake Forest and Virginia. Like, who looks forward to that crap? We got Wake Forest, Virginia, Boston College.
Listen, Captain Unit, motherfucker.
So that being said, I'm looking forward. It's a measuring stick game. It's a measuring stick game. I want to see what our offense can do against their defense. Okay, it's a good measuring stick game. It's a game where we kind of take stock of where we are. Okay, under Bobo. That being said, I don't think we win. I think we hang around for a little bit. Maybe. I don't think we're ever really in danger of winning the game. I think we hang around a bit. We have a good showing, and I think the Gamecock fans will be proud of the way we play. We're not going to win, but proud of some steps they see. So I'll take the LSU win the game. They won't cover. They won't cover the spread, but.
Get the fuck out of here. Up next is Texas A&M. By the way, I think it's called the Bonham Trophy. That is the trophy that is given every year because they're trying to make new rivalries in the SEC, and they thought that Texas A&M and South Carolina would be new rivals with them joining the conference. It's the Bonham Trophy. There you go. So with the Bonham Trophy,
that's not a rivalry. It's a domination.
I love John Bonham. He was great.
All right. Well, South Carolina has never won the Bonham Trophy, and they won't win it this year.
No, that's not a rivalry. It's a domination.
You have to win a game for it to be a rivalry, Cale. Tell me about your wins against Texas A&M. I'll wait.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm just making fun of Dabo.
Making fun of Dabo. It is the Bonham Trophy. South Carolina's never won. They will not win this year because they don't have
I thought you said the Bonham Trophy. I was thinking it was
that rant.
Bonham Trophy.
That ran after practice that year after he got
I've been losing to Texas A&M. Cale, what's your pick with that game?
I heard Ryan Harrison.
I'm gonna go with Texas A&M in this game. Look, I mean, A&M's beatable. They're beatable, man. I mean, Texas A&M is a beatable team for South Carolina. The thing is, I'm not going to pick us to do it until I actually see us do it so I can wrap my arms around it and feel it, I'm not going to predict it. So give me the old faggies in this one. Sorry. And
That's all right.
yeah, that's that. Comrade.
Comrade, your turn.
Yeah.
I'm going to sound like an idiot from Sumter with that.
A&M, I think it's a game we can win. It's another game I got circled. I want to win because we haven't beaten them. This would be a nice step. Plus, I hate Jimbo Fisher. That being said, I really like Kellen Mond a lot, and I think he's in a big year this year. I think he's a good sleeper. He's a 50-1 Heisman Trophy odds. I kind of like that, laying that money on Kellen Mond. Come out of nowhere, especially if they say if Trevor Lawrence gets hurt or something like that, misses a few games. But I have a bad feeling that A&M is going to play a really good game this game. I think Kellen Mond's in a big game. I think we hang around. This could be the game like the what game did I pick earlier? The Auburn game. I think it's a game that we probably have chances to win, and we just don't quite get it done. Kind of the game we had a couple of years ago at Bentley threw that horrible interception in the end zone. Something like that. So I think we lose, but hang in there. It's a frustrating loss. We lose A&M.
Next game on the schedule for South Carolina is at Ole Miss. Comrade, you go first.
Well, go through the schedule. I told myself that there's going to be a game this year that we lose that we shouldn't lose. So I went through the schedule, and I said, Vanderbilt's just god awful. So I said, what game would piss me off the most that we would lose, that we shouldn't lose? And it would be a game to Lane Kiffin, because I would hear that there's some Gamecock fans who think Lane Kiffin was the answer here. I think it'll be a tire fire there. I think Ole Miss is going to be horrible this year. But I have a bad feeling that in this one game, they put it all together and they beat us. I have to hear from people who love Lane, even though Ole Miss is going to win about 3 games this year. I think they beat us. And unfortunately, it's be a losing streak now. I have us losing 4 in a row. But we'll get better. Don't worry.
All right. Cale, what's your pick with the Ole Miss game?
Yeah, this is one going on the road. Team that always things are not going to change this year. They're going to have a really good offense, and defensively, I still think they're going to be a shit show. I still can't believe they hired that turd to be the defensive coordinator there, but they did. That's Lane Kiffin for you. No scruples. I think we win this game. It's a good spot there on the schedule after a tough loss against LSU. The world beaters, where we show some flashes. I think we get this one done on the road, and I wanted to respond to something here too that you had highlighted a minute. So a gentleman named Eric Twyman. This lady says that Cale and the Comrade at South Carolina got better over right. Look at here's the fucking drill. Okay, here's the fucking drill. If our offense isn't any better than it was last year, if we don't at least put any more points on the board, they have to be able to eat up some damn clock. They got to be able to eat the damn clock up. At least move the fucking thing between the 20-yard lines. Keep that defense off the field and rest it up just a little bit more than it was last year. That punter last year, Joe Charlton, he did a great job. He was widely overused. He was used too much. There were no balls shown a lot of times in 4th down situations where we could have gone for it on 4th and really short, where I think we could have moved the chains and extended some drives a little bit. And that's what I want to see from them. I think the defense at South Carolina is good, fringing on above average, but they can't be out there quite as much as they were last year. Okay, we don't want to stretch that depth, but we want to be able to keep the form crisp on the tackling, the form crisp on the adjustments, and all that we got going on. So no, I didn't act like we got better overnight. But I think with just a little bit better of an offensive game plan, that will open up some things for that defense and enable us to win some low-scoring ball games that we weren't able to win last year. So there's an answer to your observation, sir.
All right. Well, I try to be a gentleman on this podcast, and we forgot about getting the picks from Virtual Kale. So I thought I would let Virtual Kale pick the Ole Miss game for me. So Virtual Kale, what do you think you're going to be saying at the end of the Ole Miss game? And whatever you say, that's what I'm going to go with. I don't really have confidence in either South Carolina or Ole Miss, but however Virtual Kale feels here, that's the way I'll go.
Vote for life.
Fuck it. Okay, well, there you go. I'm taking Ole Miss. That's what I think about that. So Kale's got them winning the Ole Miss game. Look at that. All right, so the next game is Mizzou. Mizzou is going to be beat up and down by the time they get there. I do like their running back, Larry Roundtree III. South Carolina has basically one linebacker that's worth a damn. I do think that they'll move a lot of their guys up in from the secondary to kind of help out a little bit with run blitzes and things like that. And I think South Carolina beats Mizzou. I think this will be your best win of the season. I think they beat Mizzou by like 10 points. So give me the Gamecocks beating Mizzou. Kale, what's your pick?
I'm going to pick us to win too, but I would be really careful with this one. That's a team that you don't know what you're going to see. You don't know what you're going to see from quarterback. You don't know what. Look, Eli Drinkowitz was the offensive coordinator, so they can throw all kind of fucking wrinkles in there. We just don't know. Missouri is a very unpredictable bunch. As we've seen that since they've been in the SEC. Yeah. They're just hard to get beat on. I mean, they can go out there and beat down Wyoming or lose to Wyoming and turn around, a couple months later and they're beating Florida and Tennessee.
Well,
so I don't know what we're going to do.
The game last year was South Carolina. I hate to use the Kale verbiage here, but it was really nothing that they did. South Carolina went into it, and Will Muschamp fucked with the offense and had them lining up 5 wide, thinking that Helinski was going to be fucking Trevor Lawrence out there playing quarterback. And he made a bonehead decision, and the offense basically fucked South Carolina over in that game, in my opinion. But if they would have stuck to the original plan of just trying to play ball control, might have been better off in that Mizzou game if we're just being completely honest here. But
yeah,
I think
we were trying to throw touchdown passes to ourselves.
Yeah, I venture to say that Colin Hill will not do that, and Helinski's not going to do it because he's going to be on the fucking bench. So with that, I think Mizzou's going to win, and I think Kale's got them winning too. Comrade, are you taking Mizzou or are you taking the Gamecocks?
Well, you guys took the Gamecocks both, not Missouri.
Yeah, I took the game. All the Gamecocks.
You misspoke there. Gamecocks. I got the Gamecocks in a losing streak right now, so they come back here. I think they pound Missouri pretty good. I think we have a little revenge on Eli Drinkowitz offense. I think our defense is better than people think. By the way, too. I know we think we have good cornerbacks. I like our D line. We got some depth there. Linebacker plays a little iffy, but if you have a good D line, you can kind of mask your linebackers a little bit. So, you know what? I think we beat Missouri pretty handily. Get back on track at 4-4 now. 4-4.
All right. Up next, South Carolina will welcome in Georgia. I don't think Georgia's going to overlook South Carolina this year. Look for Georgia to beat down some Willie Bryce ass. It's not going to be close in Columbia, so look for Georgia to win, probably by 17 points. Kale, what's your pick?
Yeah, really, really, really talented team on defense. The running game is going to be there. I don't know who's going to be playing quarterback at this point, but this is a huge revenge spot for Georgia. And they're rolling on towards. At this point, I think that they are a one-loss team, and setting sights on a SEC championship game. No, they're a two-loss team. I'm sorry, I predicted Florida. So they're a two-loss team. They're trying to kind of salvage some stuff. They're a little bit pissed off for losing to the Gamecocks. Last year. I think they're a little bit pissed off because they've lost to Florida by this point and lost to Alabama. And I think they come in and kind of smack us around a little bit. And we lose by 2 or 3 touchdowns to them. So yeah, they're going to get the series back on track, and this will be their signature win of the year.
Oh my God. Okay, Comrade, what you got, man?
Georgia's the best team in the East by far. Not even close. Not even close. I think I was watching the 2014 game today on ESPN. ESPNU, I think it was. Anyway, great game, by the way. Beat the Bulldogs. I think it's close. Then we hang around for a little bit with them. Like all the time with Georgia, we hang around a little bit. Halftime, I think we win the ball game. But Georgia's got too much for us. They won't overlook us this year. No pick sixes this year for us. I think we get beat by, I'll say we'll lose by, 13 to 10. I mean, not 13 points or 10 points to lose by. I think we would cover the spread. The spread will probably be 14.5, in that range. So then we get beat.
All right.
4 and 5. 4 and 5 now for me. I got
final game of the season. Gamecocks travel to Kentucky. Kentucky wins this game. And it's going to be by the middle of the season. Remember this name. Now, everybody talks about touchdown Terry Wilson, but they've got Joey Gatewood, who played at Auburn. I think they're going to run like a 2-quarterback type set, and Gatewood's kind of the rushing quarterback. And I think that he's going to come in, and they're going to do a lot of what they did last year with Lynn J. Bowden, whatever his name was, the talented wide receiver that came in at quarterback. I think they're going to do both.
Lynn Bowden, Lynn J. Dixon is your backup runner.
Yeah, okay. So Lynn Bowden, thank you, Cale. Anyway, Lynn Bowden, I think that they're going to this guy Gatewood is going to come in, and he's going to get some snaps. And I think that if Terry Wilson doesn't throw the ball very well, they're just going to do what they did with Lynn Bowden last year, and Lynn Bowden last year, and they're going to run the ball up the throat against everyone. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. If Bowden played the full game at quarterback last year, South Carolina doesn't win. I mean, it's just simple as that. So Kentucky will win easily the final game of the season. They don't have – South Carolina does not have the talent to match up with the Kentucky offensive line. And by the way, Comrade said the same thing, but Kentucky has won 5 out of the last 6 against.
You said the same thing last year, and you got your head shaved. You shaved your eyebrows.
And that's fine. They lost their quarterback. If they had Terry Wilson or Lynn Bowden playing.
Because the Gamecocks lost.
Let me finish. You guys can sit here and blow muschamp all you want as I finish here.
Don't make excuses.
I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying.
You are too. If we had Deebo Samuel, you thought we win the game. If Jake Bentley wasn't hurt the other game, we win that game. So there's lots of damn.
If you had a better coach, maybe you would do better.
Oh, okay.
If Steve Spurrier didn't quit in the middle of the season because Dabo fired his ass, maybe you would have been better.
Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Why didn't Lynn J. Bowden
were a little bit taller? He would get super
Lynn J. Bowden play against the Gamecocks? Why? How come he doesn't play quarterback?
Because they wanted to play the other guy, so they had to reinvent the offense at the middle of the season. Was that a coach decision, or what was that? Look, I'm not the only one that thinks this.
Was that a coaching decision?
I'm not the only one that thinks this.
That Kentucky lost because of a coaching decision, but you're saying he's a good coach.
You can have whatever you want. Mike, you can have whatever you want. Kentucky's a better football program.
Are you saying that they lost last year because of Kentucky?
I'm saying that your team is a shithole. Do I definitely put it better?
You're back. Okay. Here's the thing. The streak of Kentucky is over. A new streak has started last year. It will continue this year. Make all the excuses you want. You got your head shaved last year and your eyebrows shaved because you ran your mouth too much with Kentucky and they got beat. And they'll get beat again. The Gamecocks beat them. They go 5-5. Here's the most important thing, though: 5-5, but 5-1 in the SC East. 5-1 in the SC East. 5-5.
Comrade doesn't know anything about football. But Cale, would you like to take the Wildcats or South Carolina? Which way are you going?
I'm going to take the Gamecocks in this one. Kentucky, nothing about them impresses me. The most impressive thing that they had last year is gone. Neither that quarterback, the Terry Wilson, doesn't impress me. Gatewood, I mean, there's a reason he transferred from Auburn. He may be decent. He may not be any good. Maybe a plate full of piss. I don't know. They got some decent running back talent there. I think we can take care of that. Shitty wide receivers. I'm not impressed with them. I picked them to go 2-8 this year. Mm-hmm. And you can laugh at me all you want. But they got a.
We got a comment.
Really good offensive line. Oh, that's all well and good if you've got some skill talent around there to pair with it, and they just don't.
Rob, can you highlight
them?
Can you highlight Clemson Carson's comment there about Kentucky owning USC Junior? Can you highlight that one for us?
Sure.
Okay, highlight that one. That's a good one there. Let's break that down real quick. Clemson Carson. Well, I mean, Kentucky does own USC Junior, so tears. Clemson Carson. Actually, all time we own Kentucky, and all time Kentucky owns you. So that's gonna make that. Okay, so we own Kentucky. Kentucky owns Clemson historically.
All right. So moving on here, I've got South Carolina at 3-7. I would have them at 2-8, but I'm giving the one game to the COVID to Tennessee. Kale has South Carolina 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-5, and the Comrade has South Carolina at 5-5.
I guess it's true what they say about great minds.
Well,
5-1 against the East, though. I got them 5-1 against the East with a bad loss to Ole Miss.
Them winning against Florida, which I think is funny.
Florida's their big win this year. Their big win, Florida.
Kale was solid with his. He's got them. He's not buying into Kentucky, and he thinks the Gamecocks lose at Ole Miss. So there you go with that. 2 5-5 predictions. I've got them at 3-7. So that's our picks. We're going to put these up on robincomrade.com so that at the end of the season, one of the things that I like about doing this is that we can go back and revisit it.
Rob.
Well, I mean, you could go back and laugh at Rob, or you can go back and see where Rob is pretty much generally right. So there you go. I think the only season I've missed was the year you went 9-4 when you played a bunch of shit shows and had a fluke year. So there you go with that. Barring flukes, I'm pretty close on the Gamecocks every year. So there's that. We'll open the phone lines up for just a moment here. Let me bring that up here. If you would like to join us on the show tonight, if you're laughing at Comrade and Kale, both picking the Gamecocks to go 5-5. You can call up and laugh at them now. Is Kale sitting in his car? What are you doing?
No, I'm standing up in the kitchen, charging my device.
Charging your device. All right. Well, we're not going to keep you up too much longer because
I'm good. I don't have to work tomorrow, and I don't have a car. I have a truck, but I'm not sitting in it.
803-470-2905. 803-470-2905. There's our predictions for the season. And we'll take your calls on that tonight. Let me put the phone number up here so that people can see that.
For those of you out here, go get in the contest too. RobinComrade.com. Get in the contest. $20.
That's the good thing. Get into the contest.
Go. Come on, get in the contest. Pete
really does look like he's in the call. That's funny. You are. Let me reload the page. There we go. You are welcome to join the contest at any point. One thing I wanted to bring up before we get out of here as we wait for some phone calls here is that Mike Uva from Watch Fox Sports in Columbia pretty much put it out there, and I think I put it out there earlier in one of the Facebook groups that I'm in, that he expects Colin Hill to be the starter at quarterback for South Carolina. I wanted to get you gentlemen's thoughts on that real quick before we get out of here. Are you happy about that, or do you think that Walensky should get another shot? I think there's going to be, and I think, Mike, you brought this up too, maybe it was Kale. One of you guys said that the whole the story from Helinski and how he was put into a big, everybody wanted Helinski to do well simply because of his story. I think a section of folks are maybe upset that he's not the starting quarterback this season because let's be honest, everybody – I want Ryan Helinski to succeed. He's had enough shit in his life, losing his brother to suicide and everything else. If you're a human being, you're in that guy's corner. But I wonder if there's going to be just a touch of people that are going to be like, man, I wish Helinski would get to start. And I think, if Colin Hill gives you the better chance to win, that's who you should go with. But I wonder if emotion's going to get high on some folks there. What do you guys think about that?
Well, this doesn't shock me. I think I said about 2 weeks ago, I can just tell by the way Muschamp and Bobo were talking about him that they were, you kind of read the tea leaves that he was going to start. A couple things. One, he knows the offense. They haven't been practicing that much. Second thing, too, and this is not my opinion now because I haven't seen Colin Hill play, so I'm not going to sit there and lie to you and act like I know that Colin Hill is great. But there's a dude now, and I got to find his name now. I'll go look at it tonight and post on the Facebook page. There's a guy from the Pro Football Focus website, and he does draft stuff. And one of his sleepers this year for a guy who could find himself a quarterback and get drafted this year, I'm not saying first round, is Colin Hill. He says that we get a little write-up on him saying that he's healthy now, and if he look from the start, and if he starts, look from to be a sleeper and end up getting drafted. So there's a guy out there who does not fill with the Gamecocks, anything like that, does not Colin Hill's uncle, who apparently likes Colin Hill's tape and likes that. Now, I haven't watched him play at all, so I'm not going to lie to you about that. So bottom line, what Brock said in the room, play the best guy. Who can give you the best chance to win? And it sounds like, given Colin Hill's experience in the offense with Bobo, that Bobo probably trusts him more right now and to run the offense. Listen, you're going to need more than one quarterback this year. It always happens that way. So Helinski's going to get his chance, going to get his shot. Okay, 2. I don't think Helinski's going to be bothered by it. I listened to him talk a few days ago about it, the quarterback battle. So I think they're real good friends. They become really good friends, the two of them, and they're helping each other. And, so I think it works out fine. So I like the experience back there and then see what happens.
Yeah, there you go with that. It is really going to come down to, in my opinion, who the better quarterback is. Kale, do you have a preference, or you're just like, give me the guy that wins, man?
Colin Hill knows what Bobo expects. He's been playing with him for a while. So I get that. Let's just pray. If they're going to put him in here and make him the starting quarterback, let's just pray that he, stays healthy because he's had some ACL issues 3 times over. Hopefully with the new superior strength and conditioning program that we supposedly have, that won't happen again. But yeah, I'm like, he's here. They're here to win games. That's the bottom line. We're here to win games, not here to make friends, and we're not here to make people happy necessarily because of who we choose to start. There's a reason why, and we got too many college football, coordinators and assistant coaches on Facebook groups and YouTube rooms. We just got too many of them. There's a reason why this guy is going to be the starting quarterback, and that Ryan Helinski is going to be learning from him for a year. There's a reason why he's going to be sitting under the learning tree. We don't know what it is, but
under the learning tree.
Play it a little bit better.
Yeah. Let me address Curtis Shaw, who apparently knows a lot of football. He's a football genius, Curtis Shaw. Because if Luke Doty is so good, why ain't he starting quarterback? Well, Curtis, a couple things. One, he's a freshman, and 2, I'm not sure if you knew this. There's this thing that happened as a coronavirus thing where they couldn't practice in the spring, and they just started practicing a couple weeks ago. So he's a true freshman who just started practicing, and you can't figure out why he's not starting when guys like Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson didn't start as freshmen when they had a whole spring. So that could be it.
Right.
So Will Muschamp actually said, or would have been Bobo as well, about Doty, about how well he's playing receiver. He also said he's looked really good at quarterback, and if we had a normal spring, he might be a guy who'd be pushing to start at quarterback. So that's what Muschamp, I think either Muschamp or Bobo said. He's looked really good at quarterback because his whole thing was everyone thinks he's a receiver now. And he's like, listen, he's not a receiver. We're putting him at receiver right now so he can get in the field because he's too talented to be sitting by me. And he says, if we had a spring, a normal spring, okay, he might be the starting quarterback. So his whole point is he has a lot of reps and a lot of stuff in there. So he's looked good at quarterback too, but it's just the fact that they just started practicing. Man, he hasn't. The pandemic happened. That's what happened. And he's a true freshman. But I think he might get a shot this year too. You can see that happen this year too.
Well, if the Gamecock season goes to shit, he gets a free year of eligibility anyway. Might as well throw him out there and see what he can do.
Yeah.
I'm showing on the screen now for the folks watching on Facebook and YouTube. That's what you get if you go to robincomrade.com and click on the Callaway's Bowl Pick'em Challenge. Everything you need is right there. And I wanted to show how the screen looks when you submit your picks. After you pay the Comrade the $20 to enter, you submit your picks here. And let me share that screen for you as I want to share so people can see how that looks before we get out of here, gentlemen. So the week 1 picks, this is how it'll look. You will see how everything's lined up there. I mean, it's so simple. You put your name in there. You put your name as far as your answer, then it has the lines up for you, and you just pick your teams as you go, and boom, it's right there. So very simple. That's how it'll be every week. That way people can see how it works. Everything is we goof on each other a lot, but the Comrade is very serious about this contest. It's very fair, very open. You can see when people submitted their selections. You can, I mean, it's so simple. It's very simple. Last year, didn't we have one person we kicked out of the contest, Comrade, because they were a shithead?
He kept on saying, how do we know that Comrade isn't changing his picks? I'm like, well, because one, there's a podcast where I make my picks, and then on the page, those same exact picks are on the page that I made. And on top of that, I came like in 30th place last year. So if I was cheating, I did a really shitty ass job.
Well, what was his name?
Who was
it? Carlos. It was Carlos. Oh no, it was Fritz. It was Fritz von fucking Stein.
Yeah, Fritz Van Von. Yeah.
And by the way, if the line is even, Comrade, you got to go back and fix these. Yeah. Remember, people can pick the Fritz.
Okay. Yeah, I put push in there, but yeah, people won't get.
Yeah, well, literally the push is called the Fritz. And jerk's honor. But anyway, yeah, it's simple to go and do that at robincomrade.com. You can see where all the picks are, etc. It's so above board and everything else. So go and check that out. Enter now because contest starts next Saturday. What? Don't have a lot of time, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure Kale's all excited. He's ready to pick some fucking games.
We got some money coming in too. We got some money from Christian Young and Taylor Bruni sent me some money a little while ago.
Ben Simmons paid too, right? That tall motherfucker.
Ben Simmons, yeah, before we got in the air. Ben Simmons paid. Nathan Medlin paid before we got in the air today. I think Gary Thrills Mills is paying today.
That silly bastard. You know he paid.
I talked to him a little bit today.
Thanks for donating, Gary Mills, you dumb fuck.
Yes. Leave Gary alone. Gary's the coolest damn bastard in the world right there.
I'll tell you what. Dude. Yeah. And thank all you other motherfuckers for donating too. You sons of bitches. If I don't win it, Sally Donegan's going to win it again eventually.
She's the defending champion to a $985 last year.
Oh, shit.
We want to get over $1,000 this year for the
beat your ass, Kale. Beth said she got in.
Yeah,
too.
Beth paid this afternoon. Yeah, Beth knew.
Did Beth pay $19.80 because she's a Georgia fan?
I'm not sure. I think I got 20 from her. I'm not sure. I have to go back and look.
Oh, you need to return her 20 cents, Conrad.
Georgia, I should say about 20 cents. I probably get charged 45 cents for doing it.
Well, I'll tell you what. The next time that I see Beth, I generally see Beth at the ACC championship game. I will give her 2 dimes because she overpaid. That's how that works. You got 20 cents coming from me, from me, Beth. $19.80 for Georgia fans.
That's right. We're friendly to Georgia fans in here. After that,
and by the way, I'm going to make another prediction right now. If you are a true Vanderbilt fan, meaning that you have to send the comrade a picture of yourself in your own Vanderbilt shirt, or a picture of yourself at a Vanderbilt game, or a picture with your Vanderbilt diploma, you get into the contest for absolutely fucking free.
If you own a
fans, all 5 of you can get into the contest for free.
If you own a Will Purdue jersey.
Oh, that's a good one too. A Will Purdue jersey. If you're a Vanderbilt fan, a true fan, not like South Carolina fans like Mickey Freeman that were fans when Spurrier had, great players there. Now you can't find that motherfucker. He'll be trying to get in, go to damn Ollie's and getting a Vanderbilt T-shirt with the Vanderbilt logo upside down, saying, "Look at me, I'm a Vanderbilt fan." Vanderbilt fans get into the contest for fucking free.
Hey,
there you go, right there.
Hey. To let you guys know, I got some bad news.
What?
Tennessee Rebel says, he's written off your opinion. Whoever said "Old Piss," he said the moment the guy on the left said "Old Piss," I wrote off his opinion. So apparently, our opinion has been written off by Tennessee Rebel. Tennessee Rebel, listen, I tell you right now.
Holy
the one thing, the show. I wanted the show to be. I say, listen, I want our opinion, okay, to be important to Tennessee Rebel. Now it's not.
Oh my God!
I think we should shut. I think we should end the show, end the podcast.
We should, but Tennessee Rebel. I tell you what, man, you're probably one of those Tennessee fans that's okay with Peyton Manning rubbing his nuts on a trainer's face.
That's probably okay.
Probably one of those.
You probably approve of that. That's so original. Let me guess.
You're probably one of those guys that'll be bitching about who is it? John Gruden. You're probably one of those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were sitting there with your Peyton Manning teabag.
You probably tweeted out a couple of years ago. I saw Gruden on campus. I swear to God, I saw him. You hire him tomorrow. But
he's probably one of those. He's probably one of those hillbillies who's got a tore up refrigerator sitting out in front of the mobile home that they use for an oven in the wintertime.
You rebel.
Bed in the summertime.
Oh, God.
Tennessee Rebel's probably so original that he thinks the girl is lying about Peyton Manning teabagging her. He's probably so original.
Yeah,
but he's original that way. Well, Peyton wouldn't do that.
And by the way, I really don't give a fuck what you think about my opinion. You can do. You can come back and look at the end of the season against the spread when all 3 of us are in the top 8. There you go from there. George's best is let Jackpot talk. Say something, Jackpot, so you can appeal to these people.
Hello. They've been what are you talking about?
By the way, a Vandy baseball fan is not getting it for free. I'm sorry. If you're a Vandy baseball fan, you're a bandwagon fan.
It's Vandy football fans.
Yeah, you can't. Vandy baseball fan. I'm sorry, because that's a true bandwagoner. I just like the baseball team.
I mean, I'm a giver here, comrade. We're letting Vanderbilt fans into the game for fucking free.
That's true.
Kale's just putting his head out there like, oh man, Rob, watch us get 800 Vanderbilt fans. Now they have to get through the comrade. They have to prove to the comrade they're a Vandy fan.
There's only one. I only know one of them in the YouTube Smack groups. He's in a couple of those SEC groups. His name's Jared. He's a big Vanderbilt fan. But
I think he's a baseball fan, though. I don't really count that. That's easy to be a Vandy baseball fan.
It's a Vanderbilt football fan, and don't think the comrade won't send you a fucking quiz.
They'll quiz you up.
All
He
right.
asked me about Jay Cutler.
Jackpot, do you have anything else to add to the show?
I do not. Not at this point in time. No, sir.
Comrade, tell them to enter the
Contest,
contest.
people.
Enter the contest, especially where's that dude go? What's his name again?
Curtis Shaw.
Curtis Shaw. Enter
Yeah.
the contest, or you're a fraud. You want to call out our football knowledge? Come beat us. You might beat us. Doubt it. Come beat us. RobandComrade.com. Get in. I want to see you in there, Clemson Carson. Hunter Slay, get in there. Destroy, get in there. Pete Digits. You say I'm your favorite? Get in the contest. Instead of beat me.
There we go with that.
All right. George's Best. 1980 for you, buddy. 20 cents off for you.
Beth, I owe you 20 cents, but this show's a wrap.